So in this video, somebody dropped off a cylinder for a Bobcat excavator and a new cylinder kit for it. And we're going to show you how to take it apart, how to put a new kit in it, and put it back together again. It's not difficult, it just takes a little bit of time. And we'll show you the tools we use and how to get it done. So once we get her put in the vise and we get her down tight, I always put a leg underneath of it to help hold the barrel. And I don't know that whoever brought it to me drained all the oil out of it, so when I pull the rod out, I'm going to put a bucket underneath of the two caps that I have open so that it can vent air in the cylinder when I pull the rod out. But we're going to put a bucket underneath of it when we pull it out, just to make sure that there's no oil in it, because I don't know that the guy, yep, he didn't drain it. So we're squeezing all that oil out as we pull the rod out of there. This one's 1/2-inch drive. This is an OTC 7463. It's a little bitty one, 1/2-inch drive. And we'll see how tight the thing is. Not bad, see that? Sometimes if you can't get the headgland to turn loose right away, just take a hammer and tap around the barrel just a little bit. Here's going to come out of the piston side. We'll catch it in the bucket down here. And there it is. Lay her down here on the table. Chuck the rod up in the vise now. There's a 2-inch Proto 3/4-inch drive. That fits her pretty good. It's good and tight. I cannot believe this. Unfriggin' believable. Well, after about 5 times, apparently it is not coming off. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go out and put it in a cylinder machine and take that nut off. I was just looking in the new kit, and the new kit comes with a new nut. And look what they did. They put red Loctite on the inside of that on every thread. Now you would think, I mean, once they're down tight, a drop of red Loctite's plenty. They've got red Loctite on every thread all the way around. It's no wonder they send you a new nut. I mean, what are these people thinking? I don't know. But we're going to have to go out here and put this thing in a cylinder machine to get this apart, because it's not coming apart with a 3/4-inch drive Milwaukee and heat. It's not happening. So we'll take it out there and we'll put it in the cylinder machine, get the nut off of it, and turn the nut off of it. So I'm going to have to go from an 1.5-inch drive to a 1-inch drive, and that's the way we'll do that. Put the 1.5-inch drive on there. Then we'll put the 1-inch drive on there. There she's in. I don't even know how much torque this thing's got, but it's around 60,000 if you use it all. But it never even put 200 pounds on that gauge when it took it loose. I'll spin her off about 3 or 4 threads. That ought to be far enough. I'll get my jack on and then I'll slide this table back. People get carried away with this stuff being so tight. It doesn't necessarily have to be that tight. Wow. Look at that mess. That is a mess. Full and full and full of Loctite. There's the piston, and here's the bearing, there's the rest of it there, and here's our head gland. Oh boy, is that trash or what? Woo-wee. Get here in the sun where you can see how deteriorated the wiper is, and the U-cup. You see it's all deteriorated. Right here it's split completely in half. Bearing, O-ring, backup ring, O-ring on the lid. We'll go in here and we'll take all this out real quick. It won't take just a second. We'll put it in new and we'll put her back together again. A good pick. It's pretty good to have. These push-in wipers, I love them. It just comes out that easy. See that? And then that U-cup, you're going to have to do some digging for that U-cup. That U-cup's going to be tight. So here's your pop-in wiper. And here's your spring-loaded U-cup, and you can see where the U-cup right here is split. See where it's split open? So much for leaks, huh? That's why. Roll that bearing up, stick it down inside of there. It'll snap right in place on the inside there. Next we're going to put in our spring-loaded U-cup, and the open face goes down towards the cylinder. This is a fairly flimsy U-cup. We don't need a tool, so we'll just work it in here with our hands until it snaps into place like that. You can see the fat part facing down the tube. And then our wiper, that's a snap-in wiper. It just, trying to sneak away on me, it just snaps right into place. Sometimes you gotta take a tool and run a tool around. There, she popped in. So there's your wiper, your U-cup, your bearing. Here's the O-ring. It goes all the way up to the lid. Once you get it on there, turn it a little bit, make sure it's straight. Then comes a backup ring. Then comes an O-ring. Come on, baby. Twist it. So on the piston seal is a expander that goes on first. Get it down the groove. Just about the point it starts to make my fingers get really hot, that's about the time to put it on. Dark lithium lube, but put plenty on it. Put plenty on this little taper right here on this rod. Get it all in the U-cup and on the bearing and every place in there. Get your head gland started back on the rod here. Once you get it past the wiper, give her a couple little hits. Take this excess grease and wipe it onto that seal. That'll help you when you go to put it back together again. It'll slide right down that barrel for you. The next one we're going to put on is we're going to put on the piston. Leave our tie strap on for now. Put our new nut on there. Don't need any Loctite because it's covered in friggin' Loctite. I mean covered. Unbelievable amount of Loctite on that nut. That's all it needs. It don't need any more than that. So we'll take and it's been about 30 minutes. That ought to be shrunk up to about the right size by now. We're going to lubricate all of this with some lithium lube. That bearing. Get all that nice and lubricated so it's ease of going back together again. Then we're going to snip off that tie strap real careful like. And we'll put some lube up there on top of that piston seal. See, it stayed there now, so that's good. Then we'll get our barrel started on there, and we'll give a couple of love taps on the end of it. Get the head gland started down in there. We get 3 or 4 threads, and then we're going to pin the back end of it back here. Make it easy. That's probably far enough we can get it pinned. Once we got her all the way down tight and get her good and snug, and that's enough. Don't have to overkill it. As long as that's down good and tight, it's not going to go anywhere. So now all we got to do is we'll take it out of the machine, we'll collapse it, tape up the ends, give it back to the guy that brought it here. Now you know why I made this machine. I've been fighting cylinders like this for 45 years, and I'll tell you what, I'm too old to fight them anymore. That's why I built this thing. And I just love to use it. So, hope if you're doing one, I hope that nut is not that tight on the one that you're doing. Hope you liked the video, and thanks for watching.